we're live.
We are live.
Yay!
It's the September 18th, 2025. Good morning, everyone. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Good morning, Dr. Kills. And we have
Morning.
Kat Herman here with us today. And the 1 year older Alia.
Yeah, I mean, that's been happening for the last year, but yes.
Hashtag KMT for a chance of what?
Winning. Winning. I'm going to show you right now. Yay. Oh, no, I'm not going to show you.
Well, it has to be in front of your house, your face, I guess.
This is why you're winning today.
The organ blend or?
This is the grass-fed beef liver.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And remember, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Or if you have phone calls, just turn the ring. All right. We have already 50 plus people here.
Awesome.
Do you have any announcements, Alia, before we talk to Kat?
Sure. I want to say Hack Your Health is like in 2 months. And if you want to come to Hack Your Health, we have a discount code called Mighty Tribe, and you can get $100 off your ticket. So when you go to pay for your ticket, just put that discount code in. Also, October 1st, we are adding 2 additional tiers to the Kilts Mighty Tribe so that you can get additional calls and additional resources. There's going to be a $10 level, and that's an additional call on Tuesday nights with Dr. Nelson and a coach. And I guess immediately it's not going to be full of people, so it might even be closer to individualized coaching as we start this up. So I highly recommend you sign up for that. And then on Thursday nights, we're going to have another call with Dr. Nelson and some specialists. So there you go.
On that discount code, when you click on Hack Your Health in our website, and the Kilts meetups, probably, right?
Yeah.
Is there the information about the discount code?
I gotta make sure. I'll double verify
if
that.
You
we
put
just
it
got
there.
The discount code.
Yeah. Someone who's clicking on that and didn't know about the discount.
Good. I'll make sure it's there.
So, where are you today, Dr. Kilts?
I'm in Skinny Atlas, Syracuse area. I'm home today, but I'm working all day today. So I'm upstate New York.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, Kat, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, and give us your story of healing. Very interesting. And you're also a member of the coaching certification class. Maybe you can hear about how you're doing on that.
Okay. Well, my name's Kat Herman, and I am a mostly stay-at-home mom of 2. I homeschool both our kids. I still work part-time in clinical microbiology. And I guess we're kind of starting I'm calling it a tiny ranch. We bought our first 3 cows this year. They're pregnant mamas, and hopefully they'll have 3 babies in the spring. So that's a new adventure for us. We also have chickens, maybe pigs someday. But anyway, as far as healing goes, I've experienced quite a bit on a ketogenic and carnivore diet. I started on a ketogenic diet because I was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease. And after I had our son, my estimated filtration rate, my GFR, went down to 51. And that really got my attention. So I found a group on Facebook, actually, that was kind of championing using a ketogenic diet to help heal polycystic kidney disease. And they presented some research, most of which, of course, is in rodents, not that much has been done in humans, but since then, a couple papers have been published. But they were very compelling. So I jumped right in, actually, while I was still nursing our son, and completely changed my diet. And since then, I've actually moved to carnivore. But my last GFR was using cystatin C, which, as you guys know, is more accurate, especially for the carnivore way of eating, was 88. So I went from, at the lowest was 51. Now I'm up in around 88, which is much better. In
Very good.
addition to that, I've stopped taking my medication for narcolepsy. So that's an added bonus that I didn't really expect to see. Um, and my skin's better. I feel better. My energy's better. I mean, just all around, it's been a very positive change for my life. And actually, my husband joined me on carnivore when we both started on January 1st. So he's loving it as well.
Very good.
How about your
I
kiddos?
think
How
I'm
are
seeing
they
a bit of
doing?
delay here on the, there we go.
Kat, how are your children doing in
They're
this? Are
doing
they
great. They eat pretty much animal based. Oh, sorry, there's a big delay
and
here. My
yeah,
kids eat.
that's okay. It's coming through.
Oops.
Go ahead.
Let me try this. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. As far as my kids go, they're eating pretty much animal based. They do really well with that. My son's very sensitive to sugar, so even as a baby, when we first started transitioning to normal food, he would have rashes and whelps whenever he had very much sugar or carbohydrate intake. So fruit, and of course any processed food, but would definitely cause a reaction. So it was really a great opportunity for us as a family just to move forward without sugar for the most part. So that made it a lot easier. And my daughter's 10 and she's really starting to embrace it. She keeps telling me, I don't know, Mom, I might be a carnivore. So we'll see how she does with that. But they still eat a little bit of definitely some vegetables and occasionally some fruit. But we try to stay away from, processed foods and heavily sugared items for sure.
And tell us a little bit about your motivation to join the coaching course and share this with your family, community, and more.
Well, I guess that is a true testament of the power and change of carnivore, because since joining this community and seeing the positive impact on my life, I just want to share that with other people. And I've seen how much of a change it made in my kidney health, and I've seen it help other people with their kidney health. And I really just I feel like it was a gift from God that he led me down this path, and I want to share that with other people, because the alternative is, as you probably know, just a slow decline towards kidney failure, which is what I kind of expected to have. There's not really any medications out there. Your best hope would be a kidney transplant someday. So this has put me on a totally different track, and I'm just eternally grateful for that. And the coaching course was, it just, of course, popped up at the right time. I had been thinking about something like that, and I actually saw Dr. Sean Baker has his company Rivero, and I saw where they were looking to hire coaching course or health coaches for their company. And one of the requirements, of course, is to be a certified health coach, right? And I was like, oh, well, I definitely can't do that. I'm not a certified health coach. I work in microbiology. Those are completely different things. So I kind of just dropped that after, and then your health course came up, and I was like, oh, well, there we go. Maybe this would be a good fit. Maybe this is a path I need to go down. God keeps opening doors. I'm going to keep walking through them. So I emailed Alia and got started on that. And I've loved it. And I love the community too. The people are fantastic. I mean, I really think and hope and pray we're all going to be friends for a lifetime because it's just amazing. And Dr. Nelson is fabulous, as you guys all know. And Dr. Kiltz and Alia, the whole group, everybody.
Aw, thank you.
I'm just so great. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. It's been amazing.
Well, this community has been most amazing for me to share and bring others on. And I'm grateful for Dr. Nelson and Alia for sort of helping be a little bit more glue to help it share in different ways. So, know that we're working all as a team. And I think that's really the key. It's a global community. And the more people that participate and help sort of drive this is going to be better for all of us. I had an interview with Dr. Ken Berry yesterday and talked about his community and all of our communities, how important they are, that we're sharing something that he and I did not learn in standard medicine, and found out, just like most people here, that what we were doing wasn't working, and how keto and carnivore really are so spectacular. And, name the disease, it's a standard diet. I went to my 40th medical school reunion this last week, and I talked to a few colleagues about the cause of disease, and it's a mystery. I even brought up a question in one of the talks on the research that the university is doing, and they have a great nutritional department, and yet there was no discussion on keto or carnivore as the potential of disease. It really was still the standard concept, and there's tremendous amount of investment into brick and mortar to continue to take care of the diseases that continue to be on the rise, which are all about standard treatments. And I talked to one doctor that was presenting on liver and kidney transplants, which they seem to be only going up in our world today, meaning that the diseases keep on climbing. And also interesting, majority of the colleagues that I was the alum have not are all retired, and so after a long investment, a very costly investment, long investment. I mean, I think 60s and 70s are still young, and there are a lot of different ways we can help people in this.
Sure.
And someone on Instagram is asking about do I still do my lives on fertility? Yeah, this is about everything. Fertility is just another disease. And Sundays typically at 10 a.m., where I'm pretty much the lone cowboy there, and we talk about anything. And yes, we talk about fertility also. So all that was asking about talking about that, and it's sort of as we go in life, things change always, and so I needed the help, and Dr. Nelson and Ali are of spectacular help in making this better for sure.
Thank you. Kat, any of your kids with any kidney problems?
Sorry about my dog. Keeps barking. My
It's all
puppy,
right.
actually. I've got 3 in here with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. No, not that I know of so far. But
Okay.
it didn't run in my family. There's no history of polycystic kidney disease. So they didn't even kind of start down that track with me till I was probably in my they started checking into my kidneys when I was in my late 20s. And the doctor just kept kind of saying, well, let's wait and see and just watch it. So it really just kept becoming more apparent as my kidneys kept growing each year when I'd have ultrasounds. And of course, they're both covered with cysts. Um, so it became pretty obvious that's the track I was going down. But no, neither of them have had any issues that would lead us to think they might have it, but there's always a chance. So that's kind of another huge motivation for me trying to steer them down the path of eating better and taking better care of their body and having that lifestyle is you might be able to prevent the cyst from even forming, even if they do have the genetic component of it.
Plant-caused kidney disease, PKD.
Right.
Essentially, that's all it is.
Oh, there you go.
Same thing. It's goitrogenic
Yeah.
foods, which can damage every cell of our body. That's it, right? Mushrooms, the one thing.
Well, yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, even if, they may have the gun, they have a loaded gun, but they don't have to pull the trigger.
Well, we're genetically predisposed to breathe air and not water. We're genetically predisposed to walk the world, not fly or swim. Those are not our environments. We are genetically predisposed to eat meat and not plants predominantly. And so, although evolutionarily speaking, we can change, we can do it. It just likely, as we're seeing the number of diseases grow and the need for healthcare is like ridiculous. So certainly,
Yeah.
I think that we have our genetic predispositions, and certainly we're seeing diseases and the cost of healthcare and the number of people that are going bankrupt because of medical debt, which is a little outrageous. And the insurance companies are refusing to pay even a decent reimbursement for the services that are provided. And even healthcare systems like hospitals are fighting and dropping major insurance companies, which kind of control things in so many ways. But we're taking the control and shifting it to say, hey, listen, we've heard you, but we're getting sicker and we're finding a new way. And we're just saying, let's take control of this. Let us create a home. It's like homeschooling. This is all part of homeschooling. You think about it. Let's teach all of us a better way of healthcare through homeopathy. Not the right word.
But home education.
North Carolina, Deb Rich says, North Central Washington experienced severe hives. Let's see, is a keto diet. Hives in the scalp, body, ears, everywhere. Very irritating, itching, and some heat. Rinse with water. What about a oatmeal bath? Maybe an Epsom salt bath. Maybe get rid of the plants. Maybe do some fasting and fatty meat. And maybe go get checked also, because in the rare cases, some Benadryl or steroid could help in the immediate. We're not taking away completely from modern medicine. But what other thoughts do you have, Dr. Nelson?
Not something. I was thinking of something not related right now. Cashews are part of the poison ivy family.
Well, which is really, again,
Oh, wow.
anytime we come in contact with the plants, and one of their major ways to say, hey, don't eat me, is to cause pain, itching, swelling, redness, also known as inflammation. And so, but in the meantime, Benadryl, which is made from probably a plant.
I'm going to look into that. Certainly, we cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater, right?
Right.
If we have found, it used to be everything came out of plants, and we learned that through the hundreds or thousands of years, our ancestors used plants as medicine, and now we make them in biopharmaceutical companies, and sometimes they find things that are helpful to improve chronic diseases, but I think something has gone out of whack completely.
And I guess the question is, are chronic diseases all from chronic exposure to constant inflammatory causing substances, which, again, they're subtle in so many ways. They don't, they're not like something you do and then but I somehow come in contact with some particle this last few days that have affected my gastrointestinal system.
Well, fasting.
I'm fasting, and I'm doing some mineral water. Any way to reduce or remove polyps or fibroids in the uterus in a natural way? Answer is
Carnivore diet.
Carnivore and fasting. They don't, again, get rid of the goitrogens, the tumorigens. That'll help tremendously. And also remember, the infections of the bowel, due to mostly a plant protein low-fat diet, cause the microbes that also infect the vagina, cervix, uterus, tubes, ovaries, peritoneal surfaces. And think about that HPV is a known cause, just one of many known causes of cervical dysplasia and cancer. And these are all chronic, acute, local and systemic inflammatory particles, which for cat, some chemical or some antigen likely exposed to the kidneys cause the reactions that cause inflammation. Just like if you're coming into contact with poison ivy, it usually causes redness and some dermatologic changes that are not natural or normal. But if you remove the offending substance, it will heal. Give it enough time in the right non-contaminated environment.
That's right. Dr. Kiltz, we have a couple questions for Kat. No Carb Barb. Kat, thanks for sharing your story. How has your family reacted to your change in your way of eating? Do they see the benefits for you?
Yes. I think most of my family is very supportive of me with this because they see, like you said, they see the benefits. They see that my health is improving, and they want that for me, whatever that takes. In fact, my dad keeps joking about going to carnivore himself. So hopefully that'll happen. That would be fantastic. But I'd say my family's very supportive of me. And like I said, my husband jumped into carnivore with me in January. So that's been awesome. Because when I was keto before that, the 3.5 years before that, it was mostly just me eating different than everyone else. But now he's jumped in, and it just makes food preparation a lot easier and family meals easier because we all kind of enjoy the same things together. But as far as my extended family, yeah, they've seen
Any other family or friends with similar pattern of eating, or any opinions against it? Any comments?
Oh, well, I don't have any. I don't think we have any other family or friends that eats carnivore. But I'm trying to think. As far as comments against it, I mean, one of the typical responses is, "Oh, I'm so glad that's working for you. Do you have to keep eating this way forever?" I mean, that's usually the question. Are you going to stop now that you've healed? Which I kind of say, well, it's really it's not a bad thing. I actually enjoy eating this way, and I want to keep my kidney health improving, so I'm going to stay on this track. So right now, yeah, it looks like I'm going to eat this way forever, unless for some reason I learn that there's a change that I can make that helps even more. I will probably be on this track forever. So
I'm going to get back. Only one quick question because Deb Rich is commenting. It's not poison ivy that she's having with this itching. My point is, it's poison ivy like, but remember, there are chemicals, there are antigens, there are microbes everywhere. That being carnivore, does being carnivore mean you're going to get no diseases, Dr. Nelson?
I wish. Absolutely not, but I can only speak directly on my own experience, and I think many of us can, that we have improved and reversed or put in remission, whatever word you want to use, many conditions that required medication, sometimes even procedures, uh, and we have improved it by eating this way.
Well, pollen in the air, microbes in the air, chemicals in the air, and also in the things that we wash with, cook with, or the animals eat could be antigenic and could cause localized or systemic inflammatory conditions. Correct?
Yep.
Right. So I think the challenge is where did your animals that you ate come from? What did they eat? What were they exposed to? These are other things, and we're learning about alpha gal, by the way, alpha galactose. That if you're bitten by a tick, you can develop an alpha gal allergy, which is alpha galactose is a sugar protein molecule in pork and beef, and but it may be that again, tick bites. So many things can be associated with why we get things. Just like I got sick over this last few days with gastrointestinal symptoms and also systemic like shakes and chills. What was that from? Don't know exactly. So there's a lot of mystery out there.
you know something interesting about alpha gal? My dad was presumably got it from a tick bite last summer,
Oh,
and he
wow.
was diagnosed with that particular allergy. Yeah, and it was really tough on him. However, he found an acupuncture facility locally, and he eats beef, pork, all of the ruminant meat, all the animal products now, and he wasn't able to at all. And they said they see it very all the time, and they have an excellent treatment rate for getting rid of it. I mean, he'll always test positive for that particular sensitivity, but he doesn't have any symptoms. He can eat all of it now.
That's amazing.
And you're right that acupuncture, red light therapy, and even beginning to have small exposure back again, they've seen people that had acute inflammatory reactions, but then didn't. And so, just like exposed to a multitude of viruses or environmental antigens, an antigen is something that elicits a reaction, they're everywhere. And our exposure really can never be completely eliminated unless you live in a bubble, like all of you.
Yeah. Do I live in a bubble? I don't live in a bubble.
Is it possible to have no chemicals in a home?
No, it's impossible.
Nope.
It's impossible. Does wood put out a pheromone or an antigen potentially? Sure, they may.
Sure.
Everything does.
Do you remember that new car smell?
Or the new carpet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Toxic
the
fumes.
carpet. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything
Your
does.
laundry
That's
detergent.
one of the interesting things about all of this stuff. And again, it's what's one of the best healers in life?
Jesus.
Oh, always the best. Time and pressure. Patience and fasting, right? And resting. I've been doing a lot of resting the last few days, and it's sort of your body saying, hey,
Take a break.
Take a break. There are these bugs in Florida called no-see-ums.
No-see-ums.
Mm-hmm. Chiggers.
No-see-ums, and I mean, there's mosquitoes. So you hang out with me, you won't get bitten, but I will. Now, I get bitten, I get a red, raised, hot, painful lesion or lesions. Last year, I got about 100 bites one day from the no-see-ums. Oh my God. And I happen to be much more allergic than other people are.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah, they don't bother me. Most I don't. I do know there are people that are just like honey attracting a bear, I guess. That get bitten by mosquitoes all the time, and it doesn't matter what species it is of flying insect, they'll get bitten more frequently. I am not one of those.
A break allows the body to do its best repair. How many people are just go and just don't go slow?
Me and you.
Too many of us. Oh, I'm a good napper and rester. I go, and then I'm like this, boom.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I'm so grateful to have Ollie, because Ollie said, hey, if you want to just rest it out tomorrow morning, do it. But I managed. I took a little nap early last night, and then I woke up at like 10. Didn't get back to sleep again till 1, and I woke up at 5 o'clock. And will I probably take another nap today? Absolutely. Let's see.
We have more questions.
Yep, let's see.
All right. So Chris Ovard asks, is a good idea for people with type 1 diabetes to eat one extra high fatty meal a day every other day? Can they go without injecting insulin? Dr. Nelson?
So I don't know if you would go without injecting insulin, but the experience of many people with type 1 diabetes is that they have a better time controlling when they use a low carb or carnivore diet. There, many of them are right here. They can tell you. I also see that some people have answered to you, but I put a link. It says Dr. Kiltz did it, but it was me. I put a link to a therapeutic carbohydrate restriction in type 1 diabetes booklet. It's a free resource. You just go to that link and it's going to give you good information about just going low carb, carnivore. There are several type 1 diabetics in the certification class. They all say the same thing. They control their blood sugars a lot better.
What's the original type 1 diabetic diet? Keto carnivore.
Before we discovered insulin, which was about 100 years ago, there's evidence in literature of things that are described that seem to be diabetes. And I'm going to assume that most of those were actually type 1 diabetics because their life expectancy was significantly decreased. And the treatment was an all meat diet. That's how they figured out they would survive longer. I think the first mention of something that may have been diabetes was like 4,500 years ago.
And essentially, I mean, the real diabetes is a lack of insulin. Our type 2 diabetic insulin resistance, I think, is liver damage, and the liver's job is to make the fat. And because a type 1 diabetic shows up losing weight and skinny, even though they're eating a lot of food. And so something's wrong. And in general, the modern diet, Dr. Nelson, maybe a comment about this, is fruit, fiber, vegetables, seeds, and nuts, and chicken, turkey, fish, and filet. Is there a lot of fat in that diet?
No, and I would argue that that's not the modern diet. The modern diet is 90% probably ultra processed foods. The people who think they're eating healthier might have that diet, and maybe they are, compared to, because what's the context? Always we have to think about. Right? But you're right.
Pizza, pasta, bread, cereals. Okay.
None of those are really whole foods.
Well, but they're all made from fruit, fiber, vegetables, seeds, and nuts.
Yeah.
Whole point is that there's no fat in the diet, and when you eat animal fat, you're actually bypassing the liver and insulin, and that's the problem we are not doing for thousands of years. We bypass the use of animal fat raw. We cook it, render it, and pasteurize it, which is not a normal diet. Even cheese is a processed product that isn't nature's natural food. Another processed product, because where else would milk be in a bottle or a vat or a culture churn in nature? Doesn't exist. Next question.
CB asks, Kat, Did your doctor ever try to have you pour sugar-infested cranberry juice down your throat for kidney health?
Well, not exactly. My nephrologist doesn't really give me much dietary information at all, honestly. Um, I think one of her key things that she mentioned last time was, oh, do you drink a lot of water? You should drink a lot of water. That's good for your kidneys. And other than that, she doesn't mention much. And I've mentioned that I was on a ketogenic diet. I haven't talked about carnivore yet. I have an appointment with her in the fall. Well, in October. So,
So, how long ago did you go carnivore? You have been keto for a
carnivore,
while.
yeah, I've been carnivore for about 9 months now, I think. And prior to that, ketogenic for about 3.5 years prior to
Okay.
that. So since I
So even
had, right after
most
I had our
ketogenic
son.
diets are heavy, meat heavy. So
Hmm.
has she made any comments regarding the amount of protein that you're eating, which is what they're gonna probably mention?
Not really.
Not
She
really.
hasn't mentioned much food at all. Really, her advice was that there's not much you can do to help it. The only thing she did recommend briefly was a medication called tolvaptan, which they came out with, but really the studies aren't very good on it. It can at best mildly decrease the rate at which you decline, and it does this potentially by making you drink exorbitant amounts of water, like huge amounts of water. One of the big negative effects is that you don't get to sleep because you have to get up and use the restroom so many times. Um, so that's her only recommendation, is maybe think about taking that medication. But other than that, drink a lot of water.
Here you go. Next question. Sharon McCabe, how long have you been carnivore? Do you have any oxalate dumping yet?
Yeah, so I've been carnivore about 9 months, but I was clean ketogenic before that, and I had been trying to avoid oxalates for several years now, because that's one of the things that they're potentially linking to the damage causing the cysts in your kidneys, is things like oxalates. That maybe those little crystals cause micro tears, which causes the cyst to form in reaction to that. It's definitely a possibility. So at least from the research, I mean, obviously I'm not a medical doctor. I can't tell you what causes it, nor have I done the research. So, but yeah, I haven't had any oxalate dumping, which I think is a miracle, because I was definitely on that train several years ago where they said, have spinach and almond smoothies and things like that, just packed full of oxalates.
Oh, Ollie, Dr. Kilt's website seems to be locked down. Can you take a look at that?
Yeah, I think they're switching it over. I will
It's
check with
supposed
Nate on
to
it.
be
But if you
Dr.
go to
Kilt's, but drkilts.com always goes to drkilts.com, no matter who it is. Remember that.
all right, I will get with Nate
Always
on
goes
that.
to drkilts.com. So thank you for noticing that. Let's see, Eden. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
interesting. I'll find out today what's going on with
That's
that.
all right.
Stephanie Boyd says, I recently read that drinking spring water causes calcification of arteries and other organs. Any truth to this? I drink it to avoid fluoride in tap. Anyone? I don't know.
What is the problem with?
Anyone have any idea about spring water causing calcification?
Well, let's see. I guess it depends on what's in spring water. What's the definition of spring water? Is it groundwater? Is that localized? And then I guess the other question is, what water in this world isn't contaminated with something? And
Right.
and ultimately, I mean, does water contain salts that can be attracted to electromolecular forces and then build up? I mean, isn't that also happen no matter what? And is it, as time goes on, does our body, like, it's always exposed to something that's going to adversely affect it, right? Nobody's gonna look the same at 95 as it did at 5, are they? No car, even if it sits in a garage, never is driven.
Oh no.
And so everything is always degrading. And yes, calcifications happen to what you breathe, drink, and eat all day long, wherever the source is.
Okay, good. Let's see. Chris Obard, follow up. Could being bitten by ticks and getting Rocky Mountain spotted fever and bitten by brown recluse spiders cause type 1? Dr. Nelson.
Sorry, what was the
Yes.
question again?
Could being bit by ticks and Rocky Mountain spotted fever and being bitten by brown recluse spiders cause type 1?
It seems there might be many infectious agents that could start a reaction and produce antibodies against beta cells that end up having going into type 1 diabetes. I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, there you go. Next question. Let's see here. Tina Black, what do you think about stem cell therapy?
Dr. Kiltz?
Well, I mean, the human body is always regenerating and creating stem cells that are, and if you think about it, our immune system is all stem cell driven, and I know that Dr. Sabrina Solt is really big on stem cell therapy, so she's going to go to her website and look at her stuff. I think for a lot of our inflammatory conditions, they can be helpful. In which particular organ system, I think they've certainly found it and used it a lot in orthopedics, but they're all anti-inflammatory. That's it. And their cellular structures and organ structures and ultimately our body is constantly healed by stem cell like substances.
Exactly. I want to ask the next question. I think this is for Kat. Do you have from Jeff Rupp? Do you have any lower back pain?
I don't anymore, really. I haven't in a long time anyway. I've had it before, as off and on, but I don't currently. I haven't in several months.
Great.
Yeah.
Chuck has 2 more questions. Do you take electrolytes daily?
For me? Is that the question?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
I don't take like a formulated electrolyte daily. I use quite a bit of like Redmond's real salt and some Baja Gold, like the chunky salt on my food. And then I do take a packet here and there, especially like if I've been working outside and just sweating a ton, I may take a packet of electrolytes, usually like a half a packet, honestly. And then if I start to feel like I'm going to get muscle cramps, I'll take a magnesium pill as well. So.
Great. Then his other question was, do you take kidney glandular?
I don't take any, I'm guessing they're meaning like a desiccated kidney. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't, but that's probably not a bad idea. I do eat some liver, but I usually just fry it in the skillet. So
there you go.
I believe our organ blend does have kidney and liver
Oh.
and pancreas, and so the organ blend is excellent.
Excellent.
All right.
All right.
Any other questions?
I think we're done. We got all the questions
We're
covered.
not
Oh,
done.
no. There's two more. There's two more.
Yeah, right there.
So where's Kat's cool glasses?
Oh, it was so early. I figured I needed the extreme blue light in my face to wake me up, but I do have them here. There you go.
There
Blue
you go.
blockers.
Those are cool. Nice.
Eden Alex James, nice to meet you. Thank you. I have had conversations with Bradley Marshall, Anthony Chafee, Bart K. Big fan of kilts. Thank you. Baby's eczema gone, cutting out vegetables.
Oh, I would say, since we've changed our kids' diet, now that you say that, I think their skin has definitely improved. So,
Any of your kids with red hair?
no. And my hair is actually, I don't know if you can see my roots. I have like brown hair. This is dyed, and I dyed it I don't know, a long time ago, and it just not going away. But no, they don't have red hair. My daughter has dark brown hair, and my son has dark brown hair too. My husband's
There you
hair
go.
is dark brownish black, so no redheads.
Archie has a question. I have a weird question. I've been told that I have fat inside my spine. If I lose weight, will that fat leave as well?
Maybe if those are not lipomas, because if it's a lipoma, and which is I've seen fairly common in people with spinal problems, sometimes they do develop fatty tumors. Those probably won't go as easy, let's say.
I mean, fat is everywhere because fat is the stem cell of the body. If you think about it, the adipose tissue is critical everywhere. It is not the cause of disease. And that's why they use adipose tissue as stem cells, because it contains every mineral, vitamin, building block of the body, and immune system. So, but it could, bone marrow is made of mostly fat.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see here.
Very good.
I think there was another question. Let's see.
There is
Oh.
another question there.
Let's see. There's two. Ricky says, is there any bad chemical reactions that happen when cooking processed meats like sausages? I don't know.
Well, sure. I mean, there could be, because what's processed meat contains spices, and when they're processed, there's a little higher risk of either contamination with microbes or the toxins, and so this is why, like anything else, you got to process yourself. That's better, but it can. But the cooking process in general, at least on the microbial side, it disarms them, degrades them, minimizes them. But the whatever the spices are could be a factor. But I don't know. I think when you think about sausage and salami, human beings have evolved eating those dry aged processed meats forever. But nowadays it's not an artisan's product. It's a mass warehouse production, and who knows what's contaminating them. Was that too much?
I think it's just perfect. Sarah Martin, do you know when we will get the electrolytes back in stock? I can find out. I will find out from.
Get those back in stock. Well, they were. We're revamping Kilt's Health and molecular fertility completely. So we're just revamping our product line, and so I would say within the next month we should be. We're also working on some other electrolytes without stevia or any other
Yay!
I like that.
sugary, tasty thing, because many of us want that. When
Exactly.
it first came,
Yes.
the team that put it together wasn't thinking Kilt's way.
More carnivores, maybe. Vape King says you may need to try carnivore. Yes, you should.
No, don't try carnivore.
Do
carnivore.
do carnivore.
We are carnivores, but we're domesticated animals that have been led astray. And once you taste a little bit of the vape, or any baked goods, all these things are highly palatable, and someone knows how to domesticate a lion or a wolf to make them dogs and cats, feed them plants. Just look at most dog and cat food.
That's right. Let's see now. Now we're done. Oh, let's do the giveaway for the organ supplements. The beef liver supplements. Let's see here. Who's the lucky winner today? Whoever wins, please email me at alia@drkiltz.com and we will get you your beef liver supplement.
Dr. Nelson, what do you think about distilled water? Is that nature's very best, do you think?
Brody, New York City. Cool. Fun. Congratulations. Please email me, alia@drkiltz.com. There you go.
I personally drink either filtered or distilled water because I don't even trust any water that says it's springs. Here in Florida, all water comes from spring originally, and some of the spring water actually might be tap water. So
it's probably mostly tap water from wherever the local
yes
is for the community. I live on Skinny Atlas Lake. The Syracuse gets their water from this lake. I actually directly draw it out of the lake, and it is filtered. It's not distilled, and I drink it. I imagine that the challenge is, as long as we're exposed to enough of the small amounts of the antigens, we're probably less likely. But if we're not exposed for a while and then suddenly we're exposed, that may be part of the reason why we're all getting this sickness is in our communities. Maybe.
I think that's it. Oh, I mean, Stephanie Boyd asks J Bud what structured water is, and we're all like, "What is it? Tell us." We don't know what structured water is.
Structured water. Okay, so the water. I mean, obviously, there's water vapor. There's solid ice water. There's liquid water, but then there's also a gel, and much of it. And there's electrical charge in water. It's a molecule. It's an atomic particle, essentially. And in our body, by the way, much of our water is held up in the glycocalyx, which is the sugar layer in and around every cell of our body, in the gastrointestinal and the vascular system. And so it's just a three-dimensional structure of water. And without that, life would not exist. And think of it as charged water. So the electromolecular properties of water, contaminated water or spring water, all have different functions, but structured water is how we exist and how water is held. And often when people have problems with edema or sudden pulmonary edema or even have diarrhea, it's the structured water being released from the glycocalyx due to toxins or electrical charge changes that are critical in our bodies. It's very interesting.
I guess people are curious how you make it and drink it.
Well, again, I'm not. Water. I mean, obviously, water has a structure to it. A gel and that particular property is natural to all of organisms. Think about it that plants actually hold water in, and they do that through electrical charges through the glycocalyx. But making it is drink it.
Just drink it. All right. Cool.
All right. Great hour. You're
Great
amazing.
hour.
What's coming next?
Thank you.
Today is
7
Thursday, right? Today is Thursday.
Yeah, so right after here, All Guy Carnivore is on, and we have Kathy Dixon today at 3 p.m.
I've got a 4:30 interview with
TD.
TD and Faith, Texas boy. So I'm looking forward to that.
Fun.
And next week I'm going to Arizona.
You're going to Las Vegas?
What?
You're going to do a podcast with Dave Feldman in Las Vegas next Tuesday, and then a podcast with Dr. Daniel Pompa in Salt Lake City on Wednesday.
All right. Looking forward to it. So
Yeah,
Tuesday
awesome.
and Wednesday. Great. Maybe I'll stop at Colorado. Thank you, Alia. And let's make sure Dr. Kiltz is not lost. People type it in. It gives right to drkiltz.com. Got it? Kiltz
Yep.
Health. Same thing. All right. Love you guys.
Okay, bye, everybody.